Picture this for a moment. It's a Thursday afternoon. You come home from the grocery store, set your bags on the counter, and start sorting through the mail. Between the electric bill and a grocery store flyer, there it is. A plain white envelope from the Social Security Administration. You open it slowly, and the words on the page don't quite make sense at first. Maybe it says your monthly benefit is being reduced. Maybe it says you were overpaid by thousands of dollars. Maybe it says your spousal benefit has been denied. Or maybe the dollar figure on your retirement check is suddenly hundreds of dollars lower than it should be. You sit down at the table, you read it again. You think to yourself, this has to be a mistake. I'll call them on Monday. I have time. The letter says I have 60 days to respond. But what you don't know, what almost no retiree in America knows, is that the 60-day clock printed on that letter is not actually 60 days. It's already been running for 5 days before you ever touch the envelope. And if you wait until Monday or next week or until you figure out who to call, you may have already lost the right to fight back forever. I'm not exaggerating. Retirees lose hundreds of dollars a month for the rest of their lives because of this one buried rule. And the surviving spouse loses money too, because survivor benefits are calculated from your final check amount. If you have ever received any letter from Social Security, or if you ever expect to, you need to hear what I'm about to tell you. I am Edward. I'm a senior policy analyst, and for years I have helped retirees decode the fine print buried inside Social Security regulations, Medicare rules, and pension law. Here on RetireRight Decoded, my mission is simple. I take the rules the government hopes you never read, and I translate them into plain English so you can protect every dollar you've earned. Today, I'm going to walk you through the hidden 60-day rule that catches thousands of retirees off guard every single year. I'll show you exactly when the clock really starts, exactly which forms protect you, and exactly what you must do in the first 10 days, not 60, to keep your check from being cut while you wait. And please stay with me until the end, because there is one specific mistake that even smart, careful retirees make when they try to appeal, and that mistake alone can wipe out your case before SSA ever reads a single word of it. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 69 years old. She lives in a small ranch home in North Carolina with her cat and a vegetable garden out back. She retired 4 years ago after working as a school administrator for 36 years. Her Social Security check, after the Medicare premium comes out, is about $2,100 a month. That check pays her mortgage, her utilities, her groceries, and her medications. There is no extra room in her budget. One afternoon in late spring, Margaret was visiting her sister in Arizona for 2 weeks. While she was away, a letter from Social Security arrived in her mailbox. Her neighbor brought in the mail and set it on her dining table. When Margaret got home, she sorted through the pile. She saw the Social Security envelope, but she was tired from the trip, so she set it aside to read in the morning. The next day, she opened it. The letter said SSA had recalculated her benefit and determined she had been overpaid by $9,200 over the last 3 years. The notice said she had 60 days to file an appeal. Margaret looked at the date printed on the letter. It had been mailed 19 days earlier. She wasn't worried. 60 minus 19 still left her with 41 days. Plenty of time. She decided to call her son first, then her local Social Security office, then maybe a lawyer. She wanted to do it right. 3 weeks later, when Margaret finally mailed in her appeal form, she felt good. She had documents, she had her records, she had everything organized. She had used the full 60 days carefully. What Margaret didn't know is that SSA's 60-day clock didn't start the day she opened the envelope. It started 5 days after the date printed on the letter, and by the time her appeal arrived at the Social Security office, the clock had already run out by 6 days. Her appeal was dismissed for being late. The overpayment became final. SSA began withholding 50% of her monthly check the very next month. Margaret went from $2,100 to just over $1,000 overnight. She did almost everything right, but one buried rule, one she had never been told about, cost her thousands of dollars and years of stress. I don't want this to happen to you. So let me explain exactly what the rule says, in the simplest language I can. Under Federal Regulation 20 CFR, Section 404.9111, anyone who receives a decision from Social Security has 60 days to file a written appeal if they disagree. That part most people understand, but here is the part almost no one knows. Social Security legally presumes that you received the letter 5 days after the date printed on it. This is called the 5-day mail rule, and it comes from a federal court case called Medellin versus Shalala. It doesn't matter when the postman actually delivered it. It doesn't matter if you were traveling, in the hospital, or visiting family. The government assumes you got the letter 5 days after they dated it. So in reality, your true deadline is 65 days from the date printed on the notice, not from the day you opened the envelope. And this rule applies to almost every decision Social Security makes. It applies to retirement benefit calculations. It applies to overpayment notices. It applies to spousal and survivor benefit decisions. It applies to Medicare Part A and Part B entitlement decisions. It applies to denied waiver requests. It applies to benefit suspensions. If Social Security sends you a letter you disagree with, this rule is running in the background. Now here's the second piece that makes this rule even more dangerous. Social Security has 4 levels of appeal. The first is reconsideration. The second is a hearing before an administrative law judge. The third is the appeals council. The fourth is federal court. Each level has its own 60-day deadline. If you miss any one of them, the entire appeal generally ends. There is no second chance and no automatic do-over. And there is one more layer that almost nobody is told about. It's called the Goldberg-Kelly rule, and it could be the single most important protection you'll ever hear about. If Social Security is reducing or terminating an ongoing benefit you are already receiving, and if you file your appeal within 10 days of receiving the notice, not 60 days, but 10, SSA is legally required to keep paying your full benefit while your appeal is being decided. That means no reduction, no withholding, no missed checks. Your money keeps flowing. But if you wait until day 11 or day 30 or day 59, you lose that protection. Your appeal can still go forward, but your check gets cut immediately, and you may wait months or even more than a year for a decision while living on a reduced benefit. So now you understand why this rule is so dangerous. The window is shorter than it looks. The protection has its own hidden deadline, and the consequences can follow you for the rest of your life. Let me give you the 3 exact steps you must take if you ever receive a letter from Social Security that you disagree with. Step 1. The moment you open any letter from Social Security, look at the date printed at the top of the page, not the postmark, not the day you opened it. Add 5 days. That is the day the clock starts. Then count 60 days forward from that date. Circle that final date on your calendar in red ink. That is your true deadline. Then count 10 days from the date you received the notice and circle that date too. That is your Goldberg-Kelly deadline if you want your benefits to continue during the appeal. Step 2. File your appeal in writing on the correct form, not by phone call. A phone call to the 1800 number does not preserve your appeal rights, no matter what anyone tells you. For the first level of appeal, you need Form SSA 561U2, the request for reconsideration. You can download it directly from ssa.gov. Print it, fill it out carefully, sign it, and keep a copy for your own records before you send it. Step 3. Submit your appeal in a way that proves you filed it on time. Either hand-deliver it to your local Social Security office and ask for a date-stamped receipt, or send it by certified mail with return receipt requested. This step costs about $8, and it could save you thousands. If SSA loses your paperwork, and they do lose paperwork, That receipt is the only thing standing between you and a permanent denial. Now, before I let you go, I promised you the hidden mistake, the one that even careful, organized retirees make. Here it is. Most seniors who file an appeal believe that as long as they disagree with the decision, they will get a fair hearing. So they write a short note that says something like, "I disagree with this decision. Please review my case." And then they send it in. That is not an appeal. That is a complaint. To preserve your full appeal rights, your written request must specifically identify the decision you are appealing, the date of that decision, and the specific reasons you believe it is wrong. If your appeal is too vague, SSA can dismiss it on procedural grounds. Your 60-day clock keeps running while they decide whether to even consider it. And by the time you find out it was rejected for being too vague, your deadline is gone. So when you write your appeal, be specific. Reference the notice date. Reference the dollar amount. Reference the decision being challenged. Attach any documents that support your case. The more specific you are, the harder it becomes for SSA to dismiss your appeal on a technicality. And one more thing, if you have already missed the 60-day window, do not give up. Under 20 CFR Section 404(911)B, you may still request a late appeal if you can show good cause. Good cause includes serious illness, a death in the immediate family, destruction of your records, mental or physical limitations that prevented timely filing, or being misled by Social Security itself. You must put your good cause statement in writing, attach evidence if you have it, and file it as soon as possible. It is not a guarantee, but it is a fighting chance. Before I close, I need to ask one important thing of you. Please do not rely only on YouTube notifications for important updates about your benefits. YouTube changes its rules every few weeks. Channels get throttled, notifications fail, and the rules around Social Security, Medicare, and retirement appeals are changing faster in 2026 than at any point in recent memory. If this video helped you understand the hidden 60-day rule, please subscribe to RetireRight Decoded and turn on the bell so you receive every update I post. Share this video with a friend, a spouse, a sibling, or an adult child. One conversation, one shared video could save someone you love from losing thousands of dollars and years of peace of mind. Remember this, you worked your entire life for these benefits. You paid into the system with every paycheck. You followed the rules. You deserve every single dollar that is owed to you. Do not let a buried 5-day rule, a vague form, or a missed deadline take that away from you. I'm Edward, and this is RetireRight Decoded. Stay alert, stay protected, and I will see you in the next video.